Hello again. This is the midweek edition of Business Live, your business, a compilation of business activities going on within the country and beyond. My name is Emmanuel Abuaji-Wiafe. Coming up in today's edition, Ghana's Eurobond issue expected to be hardly hit as financial experts and economists believe IMF's shifting of the third review of the country's performance under the fund program will affect economic decisions. Some commercial banks impress on Bank of Ghana the need to streamline regulations for mobile financial services. And also in this bulletin, oil marketing firm Allied Oil is pushing for a review of current laws that compel all oil companies to have a uniform price under the current petroleum deregulation policy. So these are the headlines. You can get interactive with us by tweeting at Joy Business GH, by Facebooking Joy Business is our page, and for more business news updates, log on to www.myjoyonline.com. My name is Emmanuel Abuaji-Wiafe. We'll be right back with the details. Don't go away.
Business Live today is brought to you by GCB Bank.
Thanks for staying. Welcome back. Now, there are fears the country's Eurobonds could be hardest hit following delays in reviewing Ghana's performance under the IMF program. That's a worry of some economists and financial analysts. The Washington-based lender on Monday announced it is postponing the country's third review to middle of next month. But are these concerns really justified? George Wiafe has more.
For some of these financial analysts and economists, the current challenge with the proposed date, the IMF Executive Board will have to meet to review Ghana's performance under the fund program, could raise some questions about the government's commitment to stabilize the economy. This could lead to some of these investors getting out the 4 Eurobonds that are already trading on the international market. Dr. Joe Abe is one of those who's worried about how this could increase government's cost of borrowing.
How many Ghanaians, trained economists, accountants, are as concerned about what the fund will say or not say, and whether the fund is entitled to what it is saying or not? So we're sitting there, we are imposing more austerity on our own people than the program would have required, and then we're waiting for somebody to say it so that we can blame. Well, I don't understand that mindset. We should be the ones to have examined, whether in a quiet forum or a public forum, what is the nature of the implementation of the program. If the fund were to say to the world at large that we are not keeping our side of the bargain as we signed, and therefore they can also not go forward to their board, because they wouldn't want to go to their board and for the board of the IMF to be the ones that pronounce the program not successful. So they will want to make sure that before they go to the board, they are going to say things in support of the approval.
But sources close to government think otherwise. They argue that a lot has been done by managers of the economy to meet most of the targets set out under the program. The source maintains that government is hoping to use the upcoming visit by the IMF mission to Ghana from next week to iron out most of these challenges. The source adds that government does not see this development having any negative impact on Ghana's Eurobonds. Another area that some of these financial analysts are worried about is what are the rating agencies going to say to investors out there about the implications of this delay on the government's finances and whether that could lead to a negative outlook or a downgrade of our rate.
Now moving on, oil marketing firm Allied Oil is pushing for a review of the current laws that compel all oil companies to have a uniformed price. Under the current deregulation policy, all oil marketing firms are supposed to have the same prices for their products across service stations in the country. Speaking to Joy Business on how indigenous firms are performing under the deregulation policy, Managing Director Elliot Okujato says it is time to review this policy.
Actually, you're right, it's a mixed bag. You know, it has its upsides and it has its downsides. The upside is that the customer benefits because they get to get low pricing at the pumps, and they also get to enjoy good customer service because all the OMCs are trying to, as it were, win the customer to their side. So I'd say that is the positive. On the negative, as you alluded to, is the fact that we have to cede off some of our margins. And you know, our margins is very thin. The industry in which we operate, the overheads are really high. But to stay ahead of the pack, we need to, as it were, make the customer happy. So they are our primary focus. With the food deregulation, the area that I have a problem with is to do with the directive by MPA that we have uniform prices all over the country. But we think that should not be something that should be enforced, because we have to look at the area we are in. Let's say I have a competitor, and let's say Ofi, that I want to attract some more customers to my grocery station. My price, I should be able to determine what I want to sell, determine what I want to sell at Joe. But where the directive is that the prices should be uniform, we find it a bit telling on us. So for me, that is the way I look at it.
Now to the banking sector. Some commercial banks are impressing on the Bank of Ghana the need to possibly streamline the regulations for mobile financial services. The central bank announced a new set of guidelines for the service about a year ago to improve money transfer via mobile phones. There's more in this report.
The new regulatory framework for the electronic money transfer services, among others, empowers telecom companies to also own and run the electronic money business like banks. Managing Director for HFC Bank, Robert Lehunt, however, explains to Joy Business a level playing field may be required for the desired results.
If you go to a bank now and try to open an account, a lot of customers complain about the number of information that is being asked. And that is so because we have KYC requirements and we all have to be mindful of that. And as it is now, the restrictions that are being placed on banks for us to be able to open an account is not the same as it being placed on other institutions. And that, well, I mean, you don't need all the requirements that is required to open a mobile money account. So at the end of the day, I think the requirements should all be the same. It's either we reduce all or we increase all. I'm just talking about a level playing field. Because it therefore means that there are people who I cannot bring into the banking sector because of my own restrictions by my regulator, and other people are able to bring them in to open accounts. So we just have to level the playing field.
The new regulations spoke suggestions that banks may have to compete with telcos for customers in electronic cash transactions. But the Southern Zonal Manager for GN Bank, Kofi Fosu, insists collaboration between telcos and banks remains key.
The telcos are not banks. They will need banks to keep an account of all this money that they are mobilizing. Eventually, the monies will sit in the bank and the banks can use it to give out loans to the sectors that need it. So we shouldn't just say no. I mean, they are competing. Of course, there's competition in every sphere of life. And therefore, so long as banks don't have the technology, the ability, the skills, the resources to do these retail transactions, then we should allow the telecos, just like microfinance and rural banks. You know, banks have great. So the high street ones should concentrate on their high street business. The medium, the small and then retail, and then the telecoms. I think it's a good thing. Generally, it's something that what should be guarded against is the fact that they will begin to give credit. Credit is a specialized area, and if you look at the non-performing loans that sits with banks, it's scary, and therefore anything about credit, we should look at it.
Joy Business has been engaging the bankers ahead of a forum themed Mobile Money and Banking, Complementary or Competition. The forum, scheduled for 5 p.m. at the Kempinski Hotel, is part of activities leading up to this year's edition of the Ghana Banking Awards, slated for this Saturday, August 27th.
So the forum takes off any moment from now at the Kempinski Hotel. Now turning attention to another story. Capital Bank says its ability to manage its finances prudently has resulted in offering high returns to depositors. Latest reports by the Bank of Ghana on actual interest rates charged by almost 30 banks in the country put Capital as the best bank to keep your deposits. According to the central bank's annual percentage rates, Capital Bank is offering 18% on deposits. Managing Director of First Capital Bank, Fitzgerald Odonko, tells Joy Business he believes the time has come to offer some high returns to attract more depositors.
We realize the importance of giving good returns to our clients, but we also see it in a bigger perspective. The bigger perspective is for the clients to realize that they're in partnership with the bank, and for us to be able to meet their needs. In so doing, one of the things that we then are able to do is to give them better returns for whichever funds they make available to us. So our ability to give better returns for the funds that are available to us is really a byproduct of the fact that we're looking to doing more with our clients, let them get value for their accounts that they have with us. And then at the end of the day, we have a win-win situation. We live in an economy where everybody is looking for the best return for whatever investment they make, and look for ways in which the client can get value, and ensure that at the end of the day, the client is happy and we are also happy. So it's
This is Business Live. In a jiffy, we shall be bringing to you the Joy Business Fund. But for now, let's turn our attention to some international business news updates.
Kenya has finalized an agreement with oil explorer Tullow and its partners Africa Oil and AP Mozambique for the development of a crude oil pipeline as it bids to become an oil exporter, the president's office said. Tullow and Africa Oil first struck oil in the Lokichar Basin in the country's northwest in 2012. The recoverable reserves are an estimated 750 million barrels of crude. The two firms were 50-50 partners in blocks 10BB and 13T while the discoveries were made. Africa Oil has since sold a 25% stake in those blocks to AP Mozambique. The pipeline, to run 891 kilometers between Lokichar and Lamu on Kenya's coast, would cost $2.1 billion and should be completed by 2021. The government and the companies are pushing to start small-scale crude oil production in 2017 at about 2,000 barrels per day to be initially transported by road.
Thanks for staying and welcome back to Business Live. It's now time for the Joy Business Van.
The Joy Business Van is brought to you by Busy, making good things happen.
Now, it takes a lot of guts to quit 10 years of banking and join the uncertain world of entrepreneurship. Well, that's what Ebenezer Latte did. He made a big move and started an online grocery supermarket, Market Express. For him, it's all about passion. His story opens this new season of the Joy Business Van. Stay tuned.
Delivery time for the grocery man, Ebenezer Latte. Ebenezer is founder of Accra's online grocery supermarket, Market Express, which enables busy homemakers to purchase groceries online and have them delivered to the office or home same day or next day. Ebenezer works from home, he actually converted a portion of his house into an office. Ebenezer had worked in the banking industry for 10 years. He decided to quit to follow his passion.
Really found that I was at a point where my passion was definitely greater than my fear, because for many bankers, a lot of people want to quit, but they are afraid, what about if it doesn't go well, you know? So for me, it's down to passion. I think that the passion was definitely greater than the challenge and also the fear of failure. And so we took the dive. I used to tell my friends we wore a parachute and dived in anticipation that the parachute will open. What about if it doesn't open? So here we are. We took the dive, and I think that the parachute has opened.
Technology excites Ebenezer. In July this year, he and his team began work on the website marketexpress.com.gh, launched in August with 2 customers, and the number has since grown. Market Express started with delivering manufactured products, but the demand for fresh produce started to increase.
Basically, our customers are the ones who decide what we sell. And so a lot of our customers kept saying, when are the fresh produce coming and things like that. And so it kind of forced us to immediately serve our customers that way. At the moment, we don't deliver same day. We want to ensure that our customers get the freshest possible products. And so they order, and then the next day we deliver. But basically when they order, we get it from the farm or from the market and ensure that they get it really fresh.
For Ebenezer, Market Express is not just about meeting the shopping needs of busy people, but providing a solution to the filth in a city emanating from plastic waste.
Plastics is basically a big menace in Ghana, and so we started a system where we use paper bags, and we make these paper bags ourselves. And also we use shopping bags. We deliver the shopping bag, and then the customer takes the shopping bags, and also we basically recycle the shopping bag. And so upon your next purchase, we give you another shopping bag, and then we take the one you had. And we've had situations where people want to buy the bags, but at the moment we are not very keen on that. We really want to ensure that we are helping in a small way to reduce the amount of plastic in circulation, and also not choke our drains and destroy our country.
Ebenezer and his team are ready to do another delivery. It's been good early success for Ebenezer, considering that he's operating in a country where people are used to going shopping themselves, but he is not deterred.
We hope that in the next 6 months you would see Market Express being a leader in this space. We've chosen this space specially, and we believe that we can become a market leader in this space, allow people to make their shopping more conveniently without having to go to a messy market or any place that brings any inconvenience. Also, we are very focused in ensuring that we help people have enough time for the things that really matter to them, rather than these things that kind of distract from a busy person's time.
Shopping gets easier, doesn't it? Well, thanks for joining us. My name is Daryl Carl. This program was brought to you by Busy. Making good things happen is empowered by Joy Business. Catch you next week.
Alright, so you can visit the website marketexpress.com.gh and do some window shopping online. Of course, there will be a repeat of this story on the marketplace tomorrow at 1 p.m. Now it's now time for Busy Bits.
Computers weren't invented for email or the internet. They were never intended to be used to keep track of your bank account or second marking period grades. The very first electronic computer was created during World War II, and its intended function was to help American soldiers hit their targets. Often cited as being the very first electronic computer, the ENIAC was built at the University of Pennsylvania from 1944 to 1946. At the time, the US Army was employing hundreds of young ladies with mathematical ability to serve as computers and physically do the math to create ballistics tables for military weapons. The function of the ENIAC was to electronically do the math that previously had been done by human computers.
The Joy Business.
All right, so the topic for our interview of the day segment, tax collection systems automation. Let's get the details.
Showing that we can get a very comprehensive database of everybody else. And what you want to do is to make sure that you can account for everybody. And how do you account for people? A list will be difficult, but all of us have a unique biometric, either our thumbprint or it's our iris. So if I pay my taxes and I can authenticate that I have paid, and there's a device that I can use by biometrics to do a verification, then once that goes, it's able to say that, okay, this is the amount of money that I paid. It will then be credited to me, so that at the end of the year, you're able to pull out how much taxes am I supposed to have paid? Have I paid? Am I fully compliant? And once it's an integrated system, at the point of payment, you take the human intervention away. So
time to wrap up on Business Live for today. Thank you very much once again for your attention and for your time, and I hope you did enjoy every aspect of the show. Let's meet again tomorrow for another interesting package. My name is Emmanuel Abuaji. Meantime, you can get interactive with us by tweeting at JoyBusinessGH is the handle, and on Facebook, Joy Business is our page. For more news, business news of course, log on to myjoyonline.com/business. Good evening and keep watching.